going to go all the way.
He's a middle schooler? No, that's in Georgia?
It's in Georgia.
Oh,
well,
somebody
got some
called
great athletes in Georgia now. Oh, eat that.
1.
That's 2 tacklers. 3, 4.
That last one he just
that was just some sauce.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a play.
No one came to watch.
Oh, and that's an amazing play. That's middle school.
That's a nice field for a middle school team.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Manchester High School, this in Virginia. Notre Dame commit Brendan Clark to Kevin Henderson with a nice catch. 48-yard touchdown.
Watch the end. He tips it to himself. Wait. Oh, you're not going to move? Give me that.
Great concentration.
And all these plays, it's amazing. Like, I'm sitting there, what is the DB doing? Like, look for the ball, son. I thought it was like a scrimmage because the jerseys looked almost the same, but opposite color.
Watch this. This is the latest from Team Flight Brothers. T-Dub listed at 5'9". Watch it. Boom.
Whoa, my goodness.
5'9".
Wow. Oh, he was above the rim.
His head was above that.
Now, where did this take place?
What? We'll have that in an hour.
No problem.
Thank you. I'm in the
More
location.
on that story in the next hour.
It's a developing story of our T-Dub situation. Big game this weekend. Patriots at Jaguars. Both teams off to a great start after winning in Week 1. Not only an AFC Championship rematch, but the highly anticipated meeting between big talker Jalen Ramsey and big dude Rob Gronkowski. Remember, the All-Pro Ramsey said that anytime Gronk has been matched up with a corner, he's had a very bad game, and that corner has had a very good game. Well, Gronk was asked about those comments yesterday.
That's how he feels. That's how he feels. I mean, it's a big game this Sunday. We're playing them. I mean, I'm sure I'm going to have opportunities to go versus him. I'm sure he's going to have opportunities to go versus me. So I'm just preparing like I always prepare. I got to just do my job out on the field and just worry about that. There can always be talking, going back and forth. Tempers getting heated up and everything. You just got to keep your cool. And, I mean, I don't see any benefit to get a 15-yard penalty out on the field because you lose your cool. And so you just got to keep your cool and keep your head on straight.
That is a product of the Bill Belichick School of Answering Questions. Good tutelage there. Nick, how should the Jags try to slow down Rob Gronkowski in this one?
Listen, I understand the pitfalls to having a corner matchup on a tight end, especially this tight end. All tight ends are bigger than corners. Gronk's the biggest, strongest tight end probably in the league. So you're going to be at a deficit if they run the football. You're also, maybe most notably, kind of giving away your coverage to Brady. Yes. You're letting him know.
You're dictating a lot of information if you decide to have Jalen travel with Gronk. You're kind of at the mercy of the court because Brady can go to all these other matchups and he can get one of your linebackers matched up with one of his running backs, or the way he did in last year's AFC championship game, he targeted the other wide receivers. Brandon Cooks, 100 yards. Amendola, close to 100 yards. They had good games against the Jags.
And Gronk played almost the entire of that first half before people remember he was knocked out. But he wasn't knocked out in the first quarter. He was knocked out at the very end of the second quarter. So I understand there's possible pitfalls. What do you do with your strong safety if your corner's on the tight end? I get it. But there's also an element of Jalen been talking a lot. Jalen talked a lot before the season about that Giants game. Odell kicked his butt in that matchup. Oh, he didn't talk bad about Odell, but he talked bad about Eli, and Odell dominated that matchup. Now, the Jags won, but it wasn't due to what Jalen did. He talked bad about Gronk. You went up against, I think, the best wide receiver. Now you're going up against the best tight end. Go see what you can do. Go see. I want to see if Jalen Ramsey can take Gronk out of the game, because they don't have Amendola now. They don't have Cooks now. They don't have Deion Lewis coming out of the backfield. They don't have Edelman. And if they don't even have Jeremy Hill anymore. He got hurt in week 1. Like, if they take Gronk away, the Texans would have beat the Pats as poorly as they played if they took Gronk away. Gronk dominated that football game. I know you can't put him on the entire game, but I do want to see, and if I'm the Jags, I do put Jalen on Gronk for large chunks of this football game.
Yeah, I expect about 20 to 30 snaps, Nick. And you're right. The integrity of the defense can be altered by moving a corner from outside and moving him into the box. So people say, well, why is that? Because if Gronk lines up at a customary NFL tight end position, you don't want your corner 3 or 4 yards off of him playing a man-to-man. Because you've also, what do you do with your strong safety who's supposed to be on that side? What do you do with your Sam linebacker? Your Sam linebacker, if you put him on the end of the line of scrimmage, you tell Tom Brady, he's blitzing. So now Tom can take his time, alter the pass pattern, and get the type of matchup. Mangini always talks about with Tom Brady, what do you have to do? You have to diversify your coverages, and you have to give him as little information before the snap as possible. And if you line Jalen up and you say he's going to guard him, travel with him the whole game, no, it's not in their best interest. But for 20 or 30 snaps, Jalen's got to be able to put his money where his mouth is. He's talked about it in the GQ article. He's that type of player. Jacksonville has allowed him to do it before. But Jacksonville, I thought, in the championship game, had a good game plan. Sometime he's going to guard Gronk. So they couldn't predict, so they couldn't get him booked and then potentially be able to create big plays off of that. But you put your team in the best position to win when Jalen Ramsey is guarding the best receiver. All right? And that's what Jacksonville has done. They've been successful at it. So I expect to see some parts of that during this game on Sunday.
If those two negate each other, how do the rest of the two teams match up?
Well, I think that this is, if you take Gronk out of the game, I think the Pats are going to struggle to score a lot of points. Now, against Jacksonville, they might not need to score a lot of points. But I think if Jalen negates, you talked about how when you went up against a great corner, you just tried to play him to a draw.
Yeah,
right?
Stalemate, yes.
If it's just a stalemate and if Gronk is limited, then I believe the Pats are going to struggle to get to 24 points in this football game. Now, maybe they only need 17 to beat Jacksonville because of Jacksonville's limited offense, but I think that would be a huge win for the Jags if he can play into a stalemate.
Jacksonville's got to do like the Texans did last week. You got to get New England in a lot of third and of the offense.
Listen, if you look at last year's stats from as far as Gronk, when he was matched up against a linebacker, generated a 154 passer rating when thrown to him, 28 targets. Lined up against a safety, a 107 passer rating on 75 targets. Lined up against a corner, this is what Jalen's talking about, a 51 rating. Like, oh, corners do shut him down. The more noteworthy number there, it's just 15 targets. So what that tells me is what you're saying, C. When he has a corner on him, they're going somewhere else with the football. Like,
yes.
There's only 15 targets all season with a corner on Gronk. That means that's when they are then throwing it to another wide receiver or to a running back.
So isn't that the matchup then that Brady would want?
That's the matchup where Brady would want, but the numbers indicate that if he has an elite corner on him, he's going to go other places. But why would the quarterback rating be so different from a linebacker to from a safety, corner, linebacker? And the reason, because the corner, they're a lot quicker, so there's less space. Gronk does not have Amendola, Edelman. He don't have that. He's big and strong, and the further the ball goes down the field, it's like Randy Moss. The further you go down the field, the more advantage the wide receiver has. Gronk is a big, strong, lumbering guy and has great hands. But you get him 20 yards down the field, huge advantage to Gronk, huge advantage to Brady, huge advantage to the Pats.
All right, let's take a break there. Coming up, which All-Pro just dissed Dak Prescott? The answer next on First Things First.
Oh, I'm excited to hear this.